Time now for Media Watch. The athlete Voula Papachristou of Greece was not considered to be a medal hope by her own country. She was probably little known across the circuit, but she has now been thrust into the headlines because of something she said on social networking. It's cost her Olympic place. James Creedon's here to tell us more. James.
You got to be careful of the tweets and the twats and the twits.
Not just Valeria Trierweiler who does that, is it?
You got to be careful because it can get you in trouble and kicked out of the Olympic Games. Now, the latest to have emerged is that this Greek triple jump champion has in the past retweeted messages from Golden Dawn, this
that's the far-right party that made big progress in the elections there, yeah?
That's right. And it might explain why the political class, or at least a part of it, the Democratic Left Party in Greece, as well as many people on Twitter, jumped on what she said and asked for her to be removed from the Greek team. And she was. There she is. That's a photo of her on one of the many articles we're finding across the global press today about it. And here is a screen grab of that tweet. It is, of course, in Greek. I will translate. With so many Africans in Greece, at least the West Nile mosquitoes will eat homemade food. Now, actually, earlier this summer, a man died because of a West Nile mosquito bite, and 18 people have been injured in Athens. So this is actually not really a topic to be joking around with. The people have been getting sick and dying as a result of that. It's
spectacularly insensitive or spectacularly ignorant, or maybe a combination of the two.
That's it. And she did apologise when she saw that it had created such a storm online. That was her apology, where she apologised.
It's a shame she couldn't see the storm that it would create, though. I mean, you know, it
should have been obvious, right?
There's this old sort of saying about sports people being a bit thick. A lot of them aren't. A lot of them are extremely intelligent.
It was a thick tweet.
But clearly that was a really stupid thing to do. Now, it's cost her a place at the Olympic Games.
She also apologised on Facebook. This is her Facebook page. And she apologised there, but it was a case of too little, too late. Now, some people are pointing out on Twitter that maybe this would have passed unnoticed, or at least would have created less of a storm if it weren't for the fact that we are heading into the Olympic Games. It is the spirit of the Olympics is very much one that is incompatible with any form of racism.
It's one of these things, though. I mean, if you look at, she's a very good-looking woman. The golden girl of athletics, in many ways, you could say. I mean, clearly this could damage her reputation so much. She could lose out on numerous contracts, a whole career after athletics as well, because of this thing, which could just be stupidity. But if it's what she really thinks, then it's terrible.
You'd think you'd be a bit more prudent. And what's interesting about this is that a lot of athletes are being encouraged to tweet around this time to communicate with their fan base, and they are being encouraged to tweet. But do you remember going back to Euro 2012, you had Laurent Blanc. Now, he actually told his players, don't tweet, don't go on Facebook, don't say anything. Maybe he was thinking back to what happened in the World Cup and, you know, these little communication problems that can turn into massive scandals with front page headlines on sports papers, etc., etc. So he was just like, guys, just turn off the phones, don't do anything. But it is interesting. You've got a French swimmer, Camille Lacour, who says that he only puts pictures of himself training on Facebook, even though he's being encouraged to do otherwise, because he's just afraid of the result of, you know, putting a wrong word in and creating a storm.
There are some sports people who tweet, you know, sort of things like that. Some who just basically cater for the fans who want to know nice things about. Others have a go at all kinds of people. There's a rugby player who regularly criticises referees. That's got him into big trouble. And after that, he did it again, just out of spite.
Social media, they're echo chambers. You say something, it can take on huge scale.
OK, James, we're going next to, 4 years since Beijing, of course. And in 4 years, a lot has happened in the development of social media. Athletes will be communicating more and more via Twitter and Facebook. We've seen that. Where are you taking us next?
All right, a quick look, because this is big in the British press. Look at this local newspaper in London, Hackney Citizen.
I know it well.
Now, this guy, he is a newsagent in Hackney, if I could find a photo of him.
Yeah.
There he is outside his shop. He was told to take all of his bunting down last weekend when the Olympic torch was passing by. Le Monde is covering this as well. This butcher from, if I could find where he's from Weymouth. Olympic torch was going via that. He had to take sausages that he'd put in his window in the form of the Olympic chain out of the window. Look what Spectator, the magazine in the UK, have done about this. This is a guy with rings that look a little bit like the Olympic logo, and he's got a policeman there saying, I'm arresting you for copyright infringement. It's a big story in the UK. The branding police are out in force, and a lot of people are saying it's against the spirit of the Games.
But it's all about making money for the Olympics, so basically it's not a burden on the taxpayer.
No local fish and chips, it's all McDonald's. That's true, in the Olympic Village. for one example.
Oh dear me, that's terrible, isn't it? James, thank you very much indeed. As ever, James Creedon with Media Watch. If he didn't exist, they would have to invent him. Thank you, sir. Stay with us. We'll have much more about the Olympics, of course. The torch making its way towards the stadium where the opening ceremony will be taking place. This lady, 100 years old, the oldest person to carry the flame so far. Stay with us.